Hi, I'm Curtis Barties, and in today's video we'll basically go over my TradingView setup, which this video is like a bonus onto the series me and Dion is doing on the channel, where we go over the SMC, how to trade Forex using the SMC strategy or SMC model as trading. So this video is basically just showing you my TradingView setup and how I customize and have my preferences onto doing the technical analysis using TradingView. I would not say a must, but it's definitely not a must, but definitely a recommended, since you have way more technical analysis tools at your disposal to do your best analysis and obviously influence you to make the right choice or enter the right trade. So TradingView is a must, I would say, to have. I'll basically just show you my TradingView setup and how it looks basically, man. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe and also make sure to leave a like so this video can get out to more people, and also make sure to check out the SMC playlist we have so far. So far we have about 3 videos. Let me just show you the playlist. Yeah, so far we have about 3 videos on the SMC, so we're obviously releasing every Friday a new chapter onto it, so make sure to check that out and also make sure to have post notifications on so you can be up to date. So with that said, let's get into having my setup. So this is going to be a very short video just showing you how my TradingView setup is, and from there. So obviously I'm using dark mode. I don't like the light mode as it's heavy on the eye, so obviously dark mode. There's grid lines you can obviously just remove, and obviously this is a free. There is a TradingView Pro which has a lot of more features to it. So yeah, so you can see here's just time if you wanted to add like time to it. Like I see, I think I have all the time periods added. Okay, I don't. So if you wanted to add more time period, you can see this thing here, this down arrow basically just shows you all the time. But for me personally, I'm using the 1 minute, 5 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. You can see there's more. You have the 3 hours, but we will not look at that. We have 4 hours, 1 day, one. So I basically just added all the main time frames onto it, and it's basically just there. On this side, obviously pairs, like I think I did show this in the past, but yeah, you can see all the pairs I have added to my TradingView. So if you wanted to add another pair, you'll just click this plus icon here on top, and you can basically search any pair. You can see there's no ZAR added since I don't trade the ZAR, but if you wanted to add ZAR, you can just click ZAR to, let's say, to any other one. Okay, it doesn't show. Okay, I have to say, for example, Forex. Here we go, and then just say ZAR. And then you can see ZAR JPY. We have a lot of other ones. There's ZAR to the pound, there's ZAR to the pound. But yeah, that is if you just wanted to add another pair onto your thing. So these are the pairs I have added. You can see there's gold. So what I usually do is when I trade, if I have an open trade, as you can see, there's not a lot of ways to like bookmark since I don't have the pay to one. But if you wanted to have like open trade, I just move, for example, gold down. And all the open trades I have is basically above gold. This is how I just structure mine. So if I had, like, for example, I had a trade on USD and JPY and the pound to JPY, I'll just move gold up. And that means I have these two that is open. Since we can't like have more than, see, you can, there's like colors, but since this is a free one, you can only have 2 bookmarks, which allows you to only have 2 colors. So having different ones for different trades is not going to work out, since I just use gold as a reference to like show these are the open trades. So let's just undo that. So let's go on to the basically doing the SMC technical analysis examples on this. So let's do that. So this grid lines, I will just basically remove this because it doesn't usually help with technical analysis, or just it clutters your screen basically. So I'll just say none. So basically that removes the grid lines at the back. So you can see this is the important one here on top. I'll just move this down. So this is basically where I do all my analysis. So basically all the stuff you're gonna need for SMC technical analysis. So as you can see, these are the one. I'll just probably leave it, like I'll go through it and you can just pause the video and just add it onto your TradingView as a whole. So you can see on the left, this is where you add your stuff. So I'll just do this. So the first one, we have a trend line, I'll go over it now, and we have a horizontal line. So these are the one you could pause it and start. For the second, we only have the FIB retracement, as that's the Fibonacci retracement. For the second one, I don't think we have any ones by this patterns, by which is this. Let's see, what is the topic? Projection. As we can see, we have a long position and a short position. This is basically when you enter your trade doing your risk management. So we'll just do that. For the fourth one, we have a brush, we have an arrow, we have a rectangle, we have a pod, and we have a circle. So by the next one, we basically just have text, and I think that is basically it. And the rest is just, this is basically just clearing all your analysis on the screen. So we'll just say remove, and it clears all the stuff you have on your technical analysis. So as I can show you, I showed you all the symbols I use. So I'll just move it back. So you can see the first one is basically just a trend line. So I think we all know what a trend line is. For example, if we wanted to identify specific ones, for example, this is just random, so we're doing this on 1 minute. So if we wanted to do, for example, this here, so this here, for example, is our protected high, just as an example. So I'll throw that trend line. As you can see, mine is dotted, so I will use a dotted, and this is what we used in the book. Let me just bring the book back over. Let's go back to the book. As you can see, this is like you use dotted lines. So I've gotten accustomed to like using the dotted lines, and this is following the same SMC book. So you can see there. So if you just basically wanted to make your dot, you'll click on the line itself. Just go back. There you can see, if once you click on it, there's like a few options to modify it. So I just use, so the first one is just the color, and this one is the style. So there's line, just your normal line, but I've used the dotted line. So if you wanted to customize it, exactly the same. So once that is done, so you can obviously see there's the next one is, so if you wanted to, for example, put like a reference with the book, as you can see there's SS. So if you wanted to do that on the line, you'll just double click on it. And now it will ask you for like templates, as you can see at the bottom. So these are the templates I added, so I've gotten used to. So you can see there is change of character, BOS, BLS, which is your buy side liquidity, equal highs, equal lows. So this is all terms we've covered in the book, so make sure to watch the series. This is your swing high, so this is basically a swing high, so we'll use this one. So we'll just say okay. So now you can see it automatically applies that template to this. So I don't need to do this every time I like identify one. So let's just do another example. So if I wanted to say this trend line again, so let's just say this is swing lows. This is not doing the proper ones analysis, but just as an example. So if we click once we do that, we'll say template, and this will be your swing low. So once you say okay, it applies. So if you wanted to add a one, so this can be anything to regards to you, but I've already added, so you can just see these are the templates. So these are the one you can pause the video and just add it for yourself. Swing low, swing high, this is all related to a line. So if you wanted to add your own one, you will have to say which color, which font, whichever, and then you'll just say wording. For example, this is Curtis test. As you can see, there's a line. You'll just say save as, which is going to add this, and you'll just give it a name. You'll just say CC, and it'll say save. So let's close it again. As you can see, there's Curtis test. Go back to templates, and there we have Curtis test. Yes, CC. So I'm just going to remove this since I'm not going to use Curtis test. And there we go. So just click on a swing high, and there we go, swing high is back. So that's basically just doing that one. So I'll just remove these two again, remove two drawings, and there we go. So if you wanted to change the color of your chart, you'll just click on the thing itself. As you can see, his body. So I wanted to change, for example, these are the ones that this is your down candlesticks, and this is your up candlesticks. So I wanted to change the down candlesticks to blue, for example. I'll just change it all to blue, and there we go. So you can see they all are blue basically now. It's a down trend, but I'll just undo that. I'll just double click it again, and let's change it to, oh, I fucked up. Let's change it back to red. There we go, apply. So the next one is our order blocks. So order blocks basically is what we've covered this on the SMC book. So basically order blocks is basically just where a type of entry might be, or a position where amount of, like where you would basically want to enter a specific trade, order block or demand zone. It's basically different terms. So I'm going to show you the exact same. For example, this could be an order block right here. I made it the same color. Once again, this is customizable to your preference. I just made mine red, so this is following a specific pattern in the book, like a specific color team. So if you wanted to do the exact same, you'll just basically say the color you want, which is here, so it's red. You can make this whatever color you want, but I'm just going to keep it at red. So for exact same way you want to enter words into, like if we look at the book again, if we go to specific trade, which is has, yeah. So this is a order block or demand zone. Once again, let me just see the wording. If you guys can see some wording. Yeah, so this is an order block. So you can see there just with regards to the book. So if you'll double click on it once again, I was not clicking, double click. So once again, it has a template where you can add words onto it. So you'll just click template. So I've added like a few. See, as demand zone, order block, smart money trap. Money trap is also what we're going to cover in the book so far. We haven't done that. So I think that's chapter 6 or so. We are currently at chapter 4. So supply zone. So we basically said this is a demand zone. So just click OK. And there we see the word has been added. So once you do your analysis, or you have your few day analysis, it should have the demand zone on top of that. So the next one is basically our long position. Yeah, so long position basically this helps you when you make a trade. So if you want to make, for example, a 1 to 2 trade, you'll just do this. You can see there is a ratio to 1. So let's say ratio to 2, there's 1 to 2. This is currently a 1 to 2 trade, a 1 to 3 trade. So this will be a 1 to 3 trade. Let's just put it here. So that will basically tell you once you enter, this would be your stop loss on when you enter your price onto your MetaTrader or whatever broker you use, and you basically just do it from there, and that will be your long position. So the exact opposite short position, if you're going a downtrend, so obviously do it at this point, and basically that will be your downtrend. So this is basically analysis, which the ones I add. This one is just identifying like a specific zone. So this would be example, we've covered this where we have our swing structure and your internal structure. So you could identify the red dots as your swing structure and then blue dots for your internal structure, which we covered in the series. So make sure to check it out. I'm emphasizing that, yeah. So the next one is basically just a brush. So if you're doing analysis, if you're showing someone something, I just like to use this. It's like when we like go over our thing, over our series, you just identify certain spots on the chart. So yeah. Next one is basically just your trend. So this one I like because it tells you like the overall, you know, when we see it like this, it gives you like more of an in-depth detail, like if you do your analysis and you have it like this. I'm just doing random stuff now, guys. So yeah. So if you had that and you just move it one side, for example, you can reference how you throw it out like this to something in the book, for example. So then you reference it out like that, which I like that one, for example. And that is just basically your line. Next one is a horizontal line. So this one I like to identify on like a larger time frame. Since you have like a 4 hour or like a day, then you can clearly see which is a sentimental part. So I made this one yellow, which this is my personal preference. So you can see here, it shows you like overall time, which is a good support zone. Like if it has 3 or more 4 touches to it, it's basically a good, which can also be the equivalent to just throwing an order block. But then I like to use both, for example. So that's just a horizontal line. This is just a star if you want to point out something, if you like want to take a screenshot and send it to somebody, which I also like to add. Next one is just basically your fib tracement. So let's just go back to the 1 minute. I'll give you also an example of my fib levels, which is, you can just take a screenshot of it, which is all relating to SMC. Okay, let's just delete that. Okay, there we go. So once you have my fib analysis, basically from the top, just take it down. There we go. It'll just show you. So yes, basically the settings I've used for the fib, which is 0, no 5, no 7, 4, 7, 9, and 1. So basically this is the way we would like to enter using our Fibonacci operations. If this is a enter zone, this equilibrium, which is your 50% right in the middle, then you know this equilibrium price and so on. So you can just pause the video and add that onto once if you want to use that. So basically your Fibonacci retracement, and then we just have our text. So if you wanted to add a text, which is this swing high, which is basically the equivalent to just adding it inside one of your lines or your order block. So I just add it because you never know, you might use it. That's basically all the tools I use. And also I wanted to point out time-wise, since I use, for example, we are UTC South African people, so make sure if you're a different country, make sure to have your time zone at the bottom, which you can just do at the bottom and then just clicking it. So the next, I think the final part I wanted to do is basically just showing you the, like with the free version of TradingView, you can only have 2 indicators. You can see indicators here. You can only have 2 which active at the same time. You can have more, but you're gonna have to delete the other one and just add onto it. So if you want to add more, basically you're gonna have to get the pro version of TradingView. So I only have 2, which I don't actually even use indicators. This is just the smart money concept. I use this as like a second opinion. So once I do my own smart money analysis, I just use this as a second one, but you can see it gets cluttered and it automatically applies a certain one. So once I do my analysis, I use this one as a confirmation of I did kind of the same similar technical analysis. And the second one is basically just the live sessions, which tells you the live sessions for the New York, London, Tokyo and Sydney session. So it basically just tells you when the session is about to open and basically the activity for each session. So if you wanted to add this indicators for yourself, I'll just put it off. You'll just go to indicators and then you'll search smart money concept Lux Algo, and the second one is Lux Algo sessions if you wanted to add that onto your technical analysis or TradingView. So that's basically today's video. Not a lot to it. I wanted to say like make sure to play around with your own theme. Like for example, I enjoy this color palette. This is my favorite color palette, so I use dark mode. So if you have your own, for example, you're a blue and white person, then you can use that combinations of color. So this is just me personally because I've got attached to like using the book and seeing that color theme. So this is just me personally. You can obviously change it like I said. So hope this video gave you guys an insight into adjusting or having your TradingView setups. This is a very cool and important part for basically being a trader and having it set up. You basically just do this once, and maybe over time you do change, but it's not a big thing. But it's also good to have it structured, so it makes your life easier once you do analysis. So yeah, I will spot you guys in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you're looking for a broker, make sure to check out HFM, as they're basically affiliate with the channel, and that will basically support the channel. If you're looking for a broker, make sure to use the link down below. So I'm Curtis Barties. I'll spot you guys in the next video. Peace out.